Hello. It's been a long time since I've done any kind of video, maybe a few years. I wear glasses full time now. I have much grayer hair. But I'm here in a beautiful quiet place called Shimoda in the Izu Peninsula of Japan. I think it's Shikuoka Prefecture. I might be wrong. And the reason I'm here is to celebrate 100 days of not drinking. I came to the realization over Christmas. I was in Vietnam, Christmas Day, very hungover. I came to the far too late, perhaps, realization that, like many members of my family, I do have problems with alcohol. And that the only way I'm going to be able to achieve what I want to in the next 10 years, the next few years, this year even, is if I stop drinking. So I promised myself that I would stop, and if it gets too hard, I will start going to AA. So there's a jogger behind me, and I don't like talking really on camera. So enjoy the view. It's really beautiful here, and this is one of the benefits of not drinking. It's before midday on a Saturday, and I had an office party last night in which I didn't drink at all. In fact, I haven't had a single drop of alcohol since Christmas Day last year, except for one incident where a bar interestingly decided to give me a beer, an alcoholic beer, while I wait for my non-alcoholic beer. So I think they missed the point. But anyway, the reason I'm making this video is not to preach or to try to convince people not to drink. It's more for my benefit, something to watch. I'm very proud of myself for reaching 100 days without alcohol, because last autumn, I was really drinking a lot. And alcoholism is a spectrum, and for some people, and maybe perhaps because of media, being an alcoholic means that you're sucking on a bottle of vodka at 10 o'clock in the morning. I can tell you I've never been that kind of alcoholic, but I've definitely been at least 2 tall boys after work every day of the week, and then a bender every Friday kind of alcoholic. And I think many people my age, I'm now 32, are getting this feeling that you're just constantly playing catch up with yourself, and that's honestly down to alcohol. You wake up with a bad hangover, the next week is a write-off, you're stressed, you need some beers after work, but just to sort of get you through. And then by the time Friday comes round, you feel like you really need another bender, and then the cycle goes again and again and again. The Meiji Restoration hero Yoshida Shoin was executed by the shogunate at the young age of 29 here in Shimoda Harbor. In 1854, Yoshida and his student boldly boarded the American fleet anchor in the harbor, seeking connection with the fleet's efforts to break the shogunate's exclusionary policies. In memory of this historical event, I offer Yoshida's motto, sincerity always prevails. Very good. Anyway, so yeah, this feeling of constantly catching up with yourself, which I think a lot of, at least young men in their 30s, who perhaps aren't where they want to be in life, feel like. And for me, I really think it's down to alcohol, and 100 days of not drinking at all has kind of proved that to me. I feel way more confident, and that's not necessarily confidence in like public, but just confidence in the things I can achieve. I now really believe that I can be successful and have a big house and a nice family, whereas I always doubted myself about those kind of things before. And I think it's because really I knew that that on some level I would end up fucking it all up by a series of bad hangovers ruining my motivation. Very beautiful here. So I guess even though this video is primarily for me to look back on, hopefully when I hit 200 days and then 300 and then however more, if anyone is watching this thinking about giving up drinking but think, there's no way I can give up, you can. It's pretty easy, to be honest. For me at least, it's going to be harder for other people. The first few weeks, the first month or so were hard. But for me, accountability was really important. I almost immediately told my boss that I'm giving up alcohol and why I'm giving up alcohol, and my close friends here in Japan. I told my mother. Eventually I told my father. And we had one of the, I think, most important conversations we've ever had about alcohol. Well, about anything really. And yeah, so accountability is useful. Everyone knows why I'm giving up, and I think I feel a lot of shame if I do give up, because everyone I'm close to now knows why. Sorry, I'll feel a lot of shame if I give up giving up, if that makes sense, if I start drinking again. Yeah, obviously, lots of other benefits. What's this? Oh, massive crane. My mind is clear. It's really made me realise how much brain fog I experienced before. My mind is very clear, I'm very focused. I've been studying a lot. On Monday I'm starting a full-time computer science course. Oh, well, not computer science, like web development course, which I never in a million years thought that I would even consider, let alone be prepared for and actually excited for and feeling quite confident about. I've lost a lot of weight. I feel good, I feel healthy. My man boobs have shrunk significantly, which is good. And yeah, this would be a great spot to camp. Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm rambling, but maybe that's fine. A dodgy mullet at the moment. I'm trying to grow it out again. So the hard parts. All my close friends have been very supportive. Only a few kind of, I guess not very good friends have kind of made fun of me for giving up drinking. But even they've sort of come round now. They've realised I'm serious. I think there is a bit of a tendency that if you're going on a night out and you're not drinking, then you kind of feel like, oh, am I letting people down? Like they think I'm not going to be fun, I'm not going to be chatty, I'm basically not turning up. But I think in my case, if I'm with friends, then I'm just as hopefully funny and active and chatty. Yeah, I'll probably duck out and go home a bit early, but it's fine. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, so yeah, there's been some sort of funny incidents, like being on a date in a bar. My date orders a Guinness, I order a non-alcoholic beer, the waiter instinctively gives me the Guinness and her the non-alcoholic beer, which I guess is quite a misogynist assumption, and also probably quite a perhaps a little bit racist as well, assuming that the Asian girl isn't drinking and the British guy is ordering a Guinness. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So I'm down here in Shimoda for a night. The benefit of not drinking, everyone, you save a lot of money. This whole trip to Shimoda, the hotel, the trains, it's probably costing me the same as a big night out drinking in Tokyo. So I feel like I can justify the expense. See what's up here. So calm, gorgeous. Actually, those of you who ever played Pokemon as a kid, this town, Shimoda, is supposedly one of the inspirations for Pallet Town, which I think is where Ash was from. And it's also the town where Commodore Perry, Matthew Perry, not from Friends, tried to open up Japan during the shogunate. Japan for like hundreds of years was completely closed off to the outside world, except for a few Catholic missions. And he opened it up. So there's a lot of like historical spots. A temple near here was actually served as the first ever American embassy or consulate in Japan. And then this town became sort of a point of contact for foreign powers before and during the Meiji Restoration. So the Russians also signed a peace treaty and a trade agreement here, which I think is called the Shimoda Accord. Yeah, I love it down here. And this is the benefit of not being hungover on a weekend, rather than being in bed with a headache, scrolling through Uber Eats. I'm in this beautiful part of the Idzu Peninsula. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for listening. And if you are thinking about giving up alcohol as well, then yeah, you can do it. Ciao.